Might just give it a few minutes just to see if we can get a few more people attending, and then I'll start. So we'll just wait, maybe give another minute or two. Okay, you can see a few more people logging in. Okay, we might just make a start. Good afternoon and welcome to the m-hance webinar. Our topic for today is how to select a marketing automation solution. My name is Howie and I am one of the non-for-profit business specialists here at m-hance. Joining me today will be Jamie and Ashley from ClickDimensions, who will be discussing why organisations should be considering marketing automation and how to go about selecting the right system. For those of you new to m-hance, we are a Gold Microsoft partner with a strong focus on delivering Microsoft customer engagement and finance solution to both the corporate and charity sector. We work closely with ClickDimensions to help our clients achieve personalised and engaging messaging with their audience. From first touch points to nurturing and engagement, the combining of m-hance CRM and ClickDimensions solutions offers clients the ability to truly create long-lasting, unique and personalised messaging with their customer base. Before I hand you over to Jamie and Ashley, I'd like to review a few simple housekeeping items. So firstly, we expect the webinar to last approximately 45 minutes. Please note that the webinar is being recorded and will be available to view on demand. All participants are set to listen only and will remain so for the duration of the webinar. If you have a question, click the question button on the right-hand side of your screen. In the new pane that opens, type your question in the top box and click Ask. Do feel free to submit your questions at any point during the webinar. With that, I'd like to hand you over to our first presenter, Jamie.
Thanks very much indeed for that, Howie. Can you hear me all okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Fantastic, thank you. Yes, so my name's Jamie Drysdale. I'm the UK channel manager here at ClickDimensions. It's great working with the team at m-hance as a CRM partner and platinum partner of ours. Their knowledge and passion of how the value marketing can bring into an overall CRM proposition is exceptional. So it's always great to collaborate with such a valued partner. It's a pleasure to be here today and to introduce what is marketing automation and why it's so important for today, especially now more than ever. I'll be adding some upfront context before handing over to the lovely Ashley Brower, who will give us a more insightful overview of the capabilities of ClickDimensions. We'll then go through the 8 questions to ask, and when selecting a marketing automation for marketing solution, for Dynamics 365, before then wrapping up with final thoughts and Q&As. So let's kick things off with what actually is marketing automation. So marketing automation is all about utilizing software to automate marketing activities. Many marketing departments automate repetitive tasks, such as email marketing, social media posting, ad campaigns. And it's not just for the sake of efficiency, but so they can actually provide a much more personalized experience for their prospects and customers. It's the technology of marketing automation that ultimately makes these tasks easier. It helps companies set the most effective processes for each stage of the sales funnel based on data about a lead and how they interact with the company. I mean, we all know there's a far more efficient way to work than just having to manually press send on each and every email, message, campaign, or post you create. But exceptional automation tools help you identify your audience, design the right content, and automatically trigger actions based on schedules and customer behavior. Once your campaign rolls out, you can focus on other tasks, then analyze and tweak your marketing plans as results start coming in, such as A/B testing. An automated marketing strategy can save time and resource, obviously driving revenue and ROI while you focus on growing your business and processes that perhaps can't be automated. Marketing automation features can vary by platform, but here are some of the common features you will find in a solution. So how important is marketing technology right now? Next slide, please. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is just go through the next couple of slides because everyone loves the statistic, and hey, it really puts things into perspective. So 89% of customers begin their buying process with a search engine. It takes an average of 10 marketing-driven touches to progress a lead from the top of the funnel to revenue generating, and then 79% of these never convert into sales. Lack of lead nurturing is the common cause of this poor performance. You go on to the next slide there, please, Ashley. 80% of marketeers use automation software to generate more leads, and companies that have implemented a marketing automation platform report higher levels of collaboration between sales and marketing. And 63% of companies that are outgrowing their competitors use marketing automation. So in addition to this, roughly 69% of marketers believe it actually helps them excel in their roles, and Gartner research reveals businesses are spending more on MarTech now than ever, as much as 30% more. But your business may not be getting the most out of its MarTech spend. So staying on the cutting edge of marketing technology empowers you as a business to make better decisions that help you reach a bigger audience and ultimately achieve greater success. So while technology changes quickly, organizations commonly don't. MarTech can bridge a part of this gap though, helping organizations keep pace with customers' expectations by empowering marketeers to get stuff done. Marketing technology tools give marketeers the access and speed to make changes happen now. So just bringing this all into sort of unpreceded, our unpreceded period at the moment, there will be brands that take advantage of the situation and those that are looking to scale back their marketing activities. So while understandable, we do not recommend those in the latter category to scale back their marketing completely. With digital adoption reaching new heights, online marketing is now more important than ever, and it's a good time to put yourself in a stronger position long term and increase your share of voice against your competitors. Intelligent brands will be effectively communicating and continue to be authentic in their messaging. So focusing on your messaging for your brand purpose and implementing a focused marketing strategy will provide you with a strong return on investment and growth in the long term. Brands with strong awareness and relationships with their customers will recover the quickest. A global survey of more than 35,000 consumers completed by Kantar actually found that only 8% of consumers believe brands should stop advertising due to the coronavirus outbreak. So obviously with more people working from home and being online, it is certain that consumers will use e-commerce sites more frequently. With this change, we are beginning to see a trend in brands now increasingly leveraging their online presence and raising their advertising spend on digital channels such as social media and Google Ads. So if you're publishing good content, generating a steady flow of new organic leads, and you're ready to scale your efforts, chances are it's time to focus your efforts on a marketing automation strategy now that will nurture those quality leads into paying customers. So I'm going to leave you guys now with some good questions to ask yourself when deciding if marketing automation is the right move for your business right now. Are you generating a steady flow of new and qualified leads? Has marketing and sales agreed on what conversations should happen with marketing and which with sales? Do you have a content strategy mapped to your buyer's journey? Are you tracking your leads, digital body language across every touch point and marketing channel, and not just through email? And finally, do you have a proven lead nurturing strategy that you want to scale? So these are all good signs that marketing automation could work for your business. The key here is understanding that marketing automation does not do marketing for you, but can help scale your successful efforts. So with that food for thought, I'm going to hand you now over to Ashley, who will be providing a product overview and the endless possibilities of marketing automation for your business. Thank you, Ashley.
Thanks, Jamie and Howie. Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Brower. I am the Territory Sales Manager here at ClickDimensions. Today, we're first going to start off with just a kind of a brief overview of ClickDimensions and what it does, how it works, that kind of thing. And then we'll kind of go into some questions that as you're evaluating your different options of marketing providers, what are things that you should be thinking about? What are things that you should be asking those providers to make sure that you're selecting the best product for your company? So with that, we're going to start in just a live environment. So if you are already using Microsoft Dynamics CRM, this should look really familiar to you. If you are not using Dynamics, maybe you're considering Dynamics, Welcome. So we are going to be talking a lot today about a couple of items. So ClickDimensions lives inside of Microsoft Dynamics. We don't have our own platform or database or anything like that. So with that being said, we utilize that core Dynamics CRM functionality and information in order to allow you to market better and smarter. So with that, contacts and leads, those are two things that we'll be talking a lot about today. So contacts and leads, those are CRM functionalities. So those people that you have in your CRM system, we're actually just utilizing those same exact contacts and leads that you're holding in your database and allowing you to market directly to them. So if I mention a contact, keep in mind that's not a special thing within ClickDimensions. It's just utilizing that core Dynamics functionality. Also with Dynamics, you're able to build and segment different lists of who you're wanting to target. So that is, once again, already a feature in Dynamics, meaning you can use all of the data in your CRM system in order to create really targeted segmented lists that you can use for your marketing efforts that aren't just marketing related entities. They are also relying on that CRM related data as well. So it allows you to get really granular there. And then you can start to see some of these marketing-like functionality terms, but we haven't gone anywhere. We're still here in Dynamics. Now, the importance of that is, you're using a single platform. You don't have to jump in and out of different databases or those marketing lists that I just talked about. If you do create a marketing list, you're not importing or exporting that out anywhere. You're working within a single system, which is going to give you a 360-degree view of every contact in your CRM's behaviors, actions, interests, things like that. Gives you a centralized point of the truth of your marketing and how it's going. The other benefit of that is everyone who uses Dynamics has the ability to have access to ClickDimensions and all of the wonderful data that you're generating. So most marketing tools are standalone outside of CRM, so no one can see this data except for marketing, which marketing is pulling in so much useful information that your customer service teams can use, your sales teams can use. So keep that in mind as well, that there are multiple different departments that can benefit from all of the efforts that marketing is generating. Now, we'll start in the email side of things. We'll keep it pretty high level today. If you do want to, get on your own session and run through anything, that you personally want to chat through, we can definitely organize those sessions. But the important part is that we are creating all of this content within your CRM system. You're not going out to a separate platform to build everything. It's in a single place, but we have really usable functionality. So everything we have is drag and drop. So as I'm creating and designing email templates, I'm just dragging and dropping over things that I want, which is really helpful, makes it easy to use. I don't have to have, an IT background in order to use a platform. Free text type, whatever you want. So very easy to create these templates. But where this starts to get really exciting is I mentioned that you're in Dynamics. So you can actually use the data from your CRM system to pull into these emails in order to personalize. The whole goal of ClickDimensions is giving you all of this information. So once again, you can market smarter to them. This isn't where you're just spraying and praying everything out to everyone. You're able to create really segmented lists and really segmented content. So I can pull in any field from a contact, lead, account, or owner entity. So this is the ability to take all that data that I'm gathering in Dynamics and make someone feel like I'm sending this email just to them. So if I want to write dear first name, I'm not having to type out 1,000 first names. I'm able to just pull in that quick piece of code and this person feels like I sent this just to them. So very easy to come in, create content. We can't talk about emails without talking about subscription management. So a big reason that people, will want a integrated system is for GDPR options. Maybe they have their unsubscribes and consent in 3 different platforms. Well, that's not conducive to, okay, maybe I send emails from Dynamics and maybe I send emails from this third-party system, but I don't know who's opted in or out. Well, with ClickDimensions, you can collect all of that consent in a single place. You can do either a global opt-in or opt-out, so they get everything or they get nothing, or you can build out your own specific subscription management pages and give people options of things that they can opt in or out of. Now, you'll design the pages, you'll pick the options that best fit your organization, but the important part is someone can come and select what they are wanting to receive. And then as they are selecting their own preferences, it's automatically updating dynamics. It's automatically updating that lead or contact in their preferences. And it's automatically updating these lists. So you do not have to manage these lists at all. Someone opts in or opts out. You're not having to come in here and say, oh, they opted out of this. Let me go immediately change that up. This will just do it for you. So amazing way. Build your easy drag and drop templates, collect all of your GDPR opt-ins, opt-outs, consents, compliance, and a single platform to make sure that you're up to date. Now, sending emails, we can do them a lot of ways. We can send them in bulk. We can send them as a one-off to someone. You can send them using a CRM workflow even, and you can also send them in an automation. But sending emails is simple. You just pick what you want to send, who you want that to look like it's coming from, who you want to send to. But remember, there's no import-export process whatsoever. So you're just typing in the name of the list that you want to use. You're not having to mess with spreadsheets or waste time, importing and exporting those. You can do split test options and test out different strategies, see which one works best. But the important part is we have statistics. It's great that you're marketing out to everyone, but how are those efforts coming along? Are you able to see those efforts? And right here, we do have some out of the box. So there are lots of levels to the reporting within ClickDimensions. We create out of the box reports, but you also have the ability to use CRM's advanced find and query on any data that you want to and create your own views and dashboards and charts. And then we're actually rolling out a pre-built dashboard solution that'll give you more custom pre-built reports, which is great. But out of the box, you have some general marketing KPIs like how is this email doing? Conversions is really exciting because it starts tracking back that web activity going on because you sent this email. So you're actually able to track who's hitting your website because of this email. Is anyone filling out any forms or giving you survey feedback? What are people clicking on in this email? Who is clicking on each of those links, link by link and person by person? But at the end of the day, there's every click, every open, every bounce, every unsubscribe, all flowing back into your system for you to build out your own personal views and dashboards and charts right here in Dynamics. And the best part about that is it's actually all posting back into the lead or the contact in Dynamics as well. So I'm able to go into that individual person in CRM where we're collecting all that wonderful, beautiful CRM data, and everything about marketing is also posting back into the CRM contact. So on a leader or contact, I can see what emails have we sent them and how many times are they opening, clicking, unsubscribing? What are their subscription preferences? Have they filled out any surveys or given us form inquiries, or what are they looking at on the website? But this is giving you a 360-degree view of who are these people? What are they looking at? What are they interacting with? When are they interacting with these items? Once again, just giving you that insight to where you can market smarter and more efficiently to them. So, emails can go on and on. There's loads of things. I've mentioned kind of tracking on the website a couple of times. We do have a tracking script that allows you to see, page by page, second by second, what is someone looking at on the website? What are they interested in? Allowing you to send the appropriate communications to them. You can see, if people are hitting a specific page and, maybe it's a really good indicator of a lead is who's hitting this page. So really powerful way to take in what's going on your website and what are people looking at and pulling that into Dynamics and onto that leader contact record. Now, another way we connect in with the website is through web forms. So forms are actually my favorite tool because they're so versatile. So whether this is a contact us form, a newsletter sign up form, downloads are amazing, any inquiry requests, you're able to take those inquiries from your website and pull them into Dynamics. So you'll just create these forms right here in CRM, very easy drag and drop. But when someone fills out a form, these people are automatically flowing into Dynamics. So you don't have any lost lead situations. Your team is being made aware of them immediately because they are called to action. So when someone fills this out, what do you want to happen? Do you want to send them an autoresponder thanking them for their form submission? Maybe sending that link to the downloadable in it. Maybe you want to add them onto a warm lead marketing list to nurture later. Maybe you want to send your team notification to a sales team saying, hi, hot new leads, someone reach out. But the important part is you are pulling those leads directly from your website into your CRM system. You're keeping your database up to date. You're keeping your teams up to date when these leads are coming in. That way they can follow up with them as quickly and appropriately as possible. So a couple ways to bring in some leads there, which is amazing, but you can automate all of this a lot further with our campaign automation builder. So campaign automation is nurture or drip marketing taken up about 1,000 notches. So what this does is it allows someone to flow down different paths based on their interactions. It's drag and drop, so it's extremely easy to use. And there's about 1 billion ways you can use them, but the red triggers are how you can be entered into one of these. Blue actions are what you can do while you're here, but you're creating these custom campaigns. So for example, if I, have a list of some old leads that I want to nurture and I want to send an email, trying to reactivate them. And from there, I want to see if they're interacting with that email. Email interactions can be clicks or opens. So here you can see a green node means they're doing what I'm looking for. A red node means they're not. So if they are clicking on this email, maybe I immediately want to notify a salesperson to have a task. Let's give them a call. Let's strike while it's hot. Maybe they're not interacting with this email, so no worries. We'll just keep nurturing them until they start showing us they're interested. So once again, are they interacting? If they are, perfect, get sales involved. But this is amazing because let's say I started off with 500 leads here. We don't want our salespeople wasting their time calling 500 people who may or may not be interested. But if we can start gathering some interactions and we can start tracking some interest here, maybe this cuts it down and they're only calling 10% of those leads. Huge, huge time saver here. But here you can see that people are flowing down their own paths based on their interactions. And it's creating this unique experience just for them. And it's not taking a lot of resources on your team. Now, we have built out some templates for you. So maybe you haven't used an automation before and you just don't know, hey, how's the best way to get started? We've actually built out some flows of some common use cases that our customers use. So maybe you have content on your website that if someone downloads, what happens? So we have built the flow. You would just go plug in your own content, but it's already done for you. And once again, huge, huge time saver here. Or you can, of course, create these from scratch and create your own scenarios. Now, like you can see here, there's loads of ways that you can kick off this campaign automation. I have to mention this page visited one just because it's brand new. We put it in a couple weeks ago, but this is if someone maybe hits your website in general, or maybe if they hit a specific page or specific pages, you want to kick off an automation. So I've heard lots of use cases around this. So sometimes if people hit a certain page, like become a member or a pricing page, or maybe you just have a new product launch and you want to send them some materials based on that specific page that they visited. Perfect. From there, once again, you could do the whole, did they interact with that content, all of that fun stuff. I've also heard the scenario of when someone visits the website or when someone hits a specific page, we want to notify that salesperson that their contacts and their leads are hitting the website. So that way they're notified immediately and they can, do with that information what they will or continue on this flow. But any way you slice it, these automations are so incredible. It's, an amazing way to get more done without putting in more work. So from there, there's loads of different ways that all of this information kind of connects together. A marketing calendar is a huge benefit. It pulls in all of this, data and content that you're pushing out with ClickDimensions and shows you in a given month, week, day, exactly what you're pushing out, when you're pushing it out. And then, this just allows you to double check your marketing strategy. Hey, is the content amount and the content that we're creating exactly what we're intending to do? Or, maybe we created too much content on the front end of the month and not enough on the back end. My favorite way to look at this is also on the day view. Here you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 6 email communications going out within a couple of hours. Maybe those are just 6 completely different segments and that makes absolute sense. That's fine. But maybe this isn't. Maybe me and my colleague all created a bunch of content and pushed it out at the same time because we didn't communicate. But I can see this and I can double check that before it happens. So just a great way to overall view all of your marketing efforts and what you're doing. But when you are pushing out these campaigns, you probably don't just send one email and that's the whole campaign. It's probably, couple of emails or a couple of emails and a social post that are driving someone to the website to fill out a form, maybe an automation on the back end of that. So it's all these different bits and pieces working together, and a CRM campaign is the exact way you're going to be able to see that. So on the CRM campaign, it is a CRM entity, so you're able to tie back, what marketing lists that you're associating. So who are you targeting for this campaign? You can tie in CRM activities, phone calls, notes, CRM opportunities for revenue. And then I can also tie back all of the ClickDimensions data as well. So what emails am I sending out because of this campaign? Has that generated any leads for us? Is anyone visiting the website or interacting with our social posts or any campaign automations? What is going on because of this campaign? And then you can actually create some reports to show you how this campaign is performing. And you're able to tie back the source code to an opportunity. That way, you're able to actually track your ROI going on because of this campaign. What leads am I generating here? How much are those leads estimating? What opportunities are we winning? How much actual revenue have I generated for this particular campaign? So that was a very quick, high-level overview of ClickDimensions and kind of the different features and functionalities. All of our customers use things a little differently, so I'd love to get on, kind of a follow-up call and chat through any of your own unique scenarios and things like that. But now that you kind of understand ClickDimensions and, what we have to offer, I want to tie it back to, as you're evaluating different solutions, what are some questions you should be asking? What are some things you should be thinking about? So the first one is, of course, does it include the features that you need? So likely when you're evaluating different solutions, you come up with a wish list of, hey, this is everything I need. So you need to make sure that it includes everything that you're looking for, but also look to the future. Hey, this is what you need now, but what do you need a year from now? What do you think you're going to grow in 2 years from now? Because that's important. You don't want to just select a tool and it's only good for a year and then you're going to have to move in another year. So make sure that the solution that you're selecting is good for right now, but also is going to grow with you as your organization. Another big question, a lot of the reason that people will select ClickDimensions is because of the ease of use and the ease of implementation. Because the truth is, if it's difficult to integrate and you can't, or if it's difficult to implement and you can't get it implemented, or you can't get it implemented in a timely fashion, or maybe you take so long to get it implemented and then it takes you forever to, train on it and use it, you're simply not going to get your money's worth. You're not going to see that ROI on your investment. If you don't find it easy to use, if you think that it's too technical or the user interface isn't quite right, you're not going to use it to its full potential. Once again, not getting an ROI back on your spend. So make sure that you're asking those questions about implementation. Hey, your solution looks amazing, but how easy is it to implement? Is this something that's going to take us a week? Is it something that's going to take us, 6 months, a year? And then also, how are we going to use it? Does it look like it's going to be simple for your team to pick it up? What are the options for training and support? This is the question that I get on every single call because you're not going to be handed this giant feature set and be able to know how to use it immediately. So what does that training process look like? If you are working with an international company, so for example, ClickDimensions, you might see on our website, or you might hear my accent and know that we are based out of the US. But we have a regional support office in Europe that does all of the training and support. And then also your wonderful partner in m-hance. They have been working with ClickDimensions for years. So they do all of the implementation. They're in your time zone, they're in your backyard, and they're able to train you up in your fashion with your CRM, your use cases. So make sure that you don't get something that's not going to train you at all. They're not going to train you in your time zone, or they're not able to customize that to you. Does it integrate well with Microsoft Dynamics? You all are on the call because you're either using Dynamics or you're looking to use Dynamics. So integration is a key part of your marketing efforts, because once again, we talked earlier about all of that siloed data. Or, I was on a call with someone earlier and they mentioned that they're using 6 different marketing platforms. How is that going to give you the information that you need? Or are you spending all your time importing and exporting things back and forth? So checking, does it integrate with Dynamics? So for example, ClickDimensions is native to Dynamics, meaning there is no integration. It just simply lives there. So you're not having to worry about importing and exporting. You're not having to worry about managing connections or anything like that. You are simply in a single platform. No one's having to mess with connections or connections breaking or anything like that. So making sure to ask those questions. Okay, you integrate with Dynamics, but what does that mean? Or, okay, you sync with Dynamics. How often do you sync? Because I don't need out of date data. So being sure to ask those questions about how they actually will work with your CRM system. How often is a system updated? This is a really important question. Marketing is changing all the time, and you want to make sure that your marketing provider is staying current with the times. So if they say, hey, we might roll out a new feature once a year, or we might put in, an update every, twice a year or something like that, that's just not going to cut it, because things are constantly evolving. So for example, ClickDimensions, we have monthly release schedules. So monthly, we are enhancing our product, we're putting new features in, we're doing fixes and changes and things like that on a monthly basis, just to make sure that we are staying so current. I mentioned earlier, we put in that trigger point of if someone visits a page. That was done 2 weeks ago. Next month, we're putting in a new survey builder. So we're constantly evolving as marketing evolves to make sure that we provide you the best, most up-to-date solution possible. So definitely ask about those, because you want to make sure that someone is growing with you. They're not going to get stuck in the past. Reporting and analytics. This is great that you can execute all these emails and you can execute all these campaigns and you're getting all these data back, but how does it report? What are you going to be able to take to your MD and say, hey, this is what we're doing for marketing efforts? So with ClickDimensions, there are so many ways. We do create those out of the box reports, but we also give you the ability to create those specific reports that you want to, but it's not just your marketing data that you can report on. It's your marketing data in combination with your CRM data. So if you want to know, hey, we market to this specific, customer type, and these are our marketing efforts, you're able to do that because it's all in the same exact system. So you're able to pull all of these custom KPIs that your unique organization wants to see, and you have that reporting at your fingertips. Now, as I mentioned, we are also rolling out our intelligent dashboard platform as well. So that gives you pre-built reports. So maybe you're in a situation where you're like, hey, honestly, I don't know what I need to report on. We've already put together marketing standard KPIs and visualizations for you, and it just takes all of your data, mashes it up, and puts it in these great, easy to read reports that you could send on to your MD. So asking your marketing provider what are the different reporting options is extremely important, because you're doing all of this to get results and to be able to see those results. That way you can shape shift your marketing efforts in the future. What's the total cost? So many providers I see out there, they'll give you just kind of a baseline cost to get you in. And then once they have you on board, it's like, oh, that's an extra charge. That's an extra charge. That's an extra charge. And it ends up being 4 times what you originally thought you were going to spend. So making sure that you're looking at the overall value. A lot of companies charge for integrations. A lot of companies charge for emails or extra contacts or maybe storage or stuff like that. So making sure that you are getting an all-inclusive cost. Hey, what is this going to cost me all the way in? With ClickDimensions, we don't do kind of a la carte things. We put together an all-encompassing package. That way you have everything that you need for success. There's no surprises down the line with, oh, I thought this came with that, and now I have to add it on, and I don't have the budget for that, but that's the reason we bought the product. So making sure that you're asking the questions about, is this everything? Is there any other surprises that are going to come later? What are the potential upgrade options, and what do those look like? The last one is, does the provider have a good reputation? This is extremely important. You don't want a provider that you've either, heard has a bad reputation. Maybe they don't have enough customers to really give you that insight. Maybe they haven't been around very long, so they're not really a proven solution. So you want to make sure that, the person or the company that you're selecting does have that good, solid, strong reputation, because if everyone else thinks highly of them, you're likely going to think highly of them as well. So just making sure that you're picking a good, stable, solid company and product. So those are the 8 questions you should ask. Naturally, ClickDimensions does check all of those boxes there, which is amazing. We do have some time for Q&A. If anyone does have questions, definitely feel free to pop them in the chat pane. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to talk about your own company and your own use cases and why ClickDimensions would be the best marketing provider for you, absolutely let us know. Like I said, we'll hang on for a couple of minutes to kind of go through some questions, but I know m-hance wanted to also share some upcoming webinars that they have going on.
Oh, thank you, Ashley. That was great. Just for everyone that was on the line as well, just to remember that the ClickDimensions isn't just for corps, it's also for charities. We have a number of charities that are currently using it. This is the way to communicate with their donors, their activists, to understand what they're interested in and what part of the charity they want to know more about. So this was just a high level, but we can definitely customize it and bring it back into a charity focused one. So if you are interested, please feel free to reach out.
Great point, Howie.
Yes, thank you. So, we probably should have mentioned today that today was just a high level one, but we would customize it considering which sector you're in and depending on whether you're dealing with business to business, when you're doing business to consumer, or you're doing a charity where, again, you're working with sponsors, you might be working for your fundraising, trying to build up more engagement with your client base and your donor base, and get them more involved and understanding what you're doing, sharing that information, tracking that engagement with them. So all available to do with ClickDimensions, and it's all recorded in CRM. So it's a great product, highly recommend it. For all those that are still on the line with us, we will be having more CRM and NFP webinars. So these are mostly charity focused. So the benefits of charities to move into the cloud, that's coming up on the 3rd of September. Using data to inform your charity's activities. On-prem to cloud migration. This might be of interest to some people, especially with COVID-19. You've seen the struggles, making sure that your technology, that you documents, everything's in the cloud and it's centralized so that you can access it, has been really important. There will be more coming in the coming weeks and coming months, so please look out for that. As always, you can register at www.m-hance.com/events. Did we have any questions there? No, it looks like everyone's gone quiet. Well, thank you, Ashley and Jamie. That was great. That concludes today's session. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. Please also keep a look at your inboxes over the next few days, where we will send you a link to today's recording. So feel free to share that with your colleagues if they've missed out on today's webinar. Once the webinar has closed, a short survey will pop up. We'd really appreciate it if you could take a moment to complete this. Once again, thank you for joining us and have a great day. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Thanks, everyone.